It is Black Friday action from a frigid Doyt Perry Stadium in Bowling Green, Ohio. Something of a MAC semifinal this week as the regular season wraps up on this Friday afternoon. From the northwest part of the Buckeye State, the Miami RedHawks and the Bowling Green Falcons will clash, winner to Detroit, to play for the MAC championship next Saturday. Alongside Bryan Miller, Luke West Poley with you. And Bryan, after the slow start to the season, Miami has earned the right to be here with exponentially better play, it seems like, week after week. For the RedHawks, you have to feel good about where you're at headed into the most important game of the season. Yeah, absolutely, Luke. I remember when we were staying at Yager Stadium at the end of the UMass game, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, we're about to lose to UMass. Like, this is a season gone completely wrong. But Brett Gabbert leads the RedHawks down that drive to tie it up. RedHawks eventually win in overtime. Even though I did lose to Toledo the week after that, ever since then, the RedHawks have been rolling. Keon Mosey in the run game especially. RedHawks have been really phenomenal, very explosive on offense, and the defense living up to the expectations set from last season and in the preseason. Bowling Green won the toss, and the Falcons elected to receive here from Doyt Perry Stadium. Pretty decent crowd on hand for a noon Friday kick, as the temperature here at kickoff from Bowling Green is a nice, balmy 20 degrees here in Northwest Ohio. So glad that you're with us. This game really feels like MACtion, and it's the most important MAC game of the season to date. Falcons with an identical record to the RedHawks, 7-4, 6-1 in the Mid-American Conference. Only loss in conference play came to Northern Illinois earlier this season, but this is an offense that is incredibly dynamic. Bryan under sixth-year head coach Scott Loeffler, and they feel like they can finally make that MAC championship push after hovering around 6-6 for much of Coach Loeffler's tenure. He was up on a contract a couple of years ago. People were wondering if he was going to stay as the head coach of the Falcons. Saw significant improvement last year, carried into this season, and his team hoping that they can not necessarily finish the job this week, but at least get to where they want to be in Detroit coming up on Saturday. Yeah, each year Scott Loeffler and the Falcons have been getting better and better while he was the head coach. It just seemed like the next logical step for Bowling Green was to make the MAC championship game and win it, and now they have an opportunity to do it in front of their home fans. It's been since 2015 since this storied Falcon program has last won the MAC. Bowling Green is in the brown, complete, short of his target on the check down with pressure coming. He was looking for Jamal Johnson out of the back by Malcolm Johnson Jr., the Auburn transfer. It is out to the 36-yard line, gain of 11 and a Falcon first down. And the Falcons are really going to have to rely on the experience of Connor Bazelak. Has a lot of experience playing college football. His 6th year, started at Missouri, then went to Indiana, and now been with Bowling Green for a couple seasons. And really has seen significant time at every stop. On 1st and 10, play fake. Bazelak throws near side, again brought in by Johnson. Swung down at his hips by Luke Evans, but Johnson makes the grab at the 49-yard line of the Falcons, a yard shy of midfield for a 13-yard pickup. Johnson caught just 3 passes all of last week. He's already got 2 and approaching 30 yards on the day with the first down for BGSU. We cross the 1-minute mark. Working from the right hash, left to right. Bowling Green working Bazelak out of the gun. Twins left, snap to Bazelak, fakes the handoff, looking near side, throwing, and it's off the hands of Fannin, incomplete. Looked like Bazelak was a little out of rhythm there as he kind of ran in to his running back, Terrion Stewart, on what appeared to be RPO and threw it behind his target, and Fannin, it's off his hands, and it's 2nd and 10. Yeah, we've seen quite a few RPOs from the Falcons to start off this game, trying to get the Miami linebackers to decide early whether they are going to attack the running back or drop back. Bunch formation with 2 in the backfield, 1 behind Bazelak, 1 to his right. He takes the snap. It's a handoff. Counter left for Stewart. Breaking through the hole, Stewart into Miami territory, and he bursts past the 40-yard line down to the 38. Pickup of 13 for Terrion Stewart, junior from Memphis, and top running back for the Falcons. He'll be marked down at the 38, and with the ball staying on the right hash, Bowling Green on the move. It's 1st and 10. And Stewart, one of the top running backs in the MAC, averaging just over 95 rushing yards a game, leads the MAC in the snap, and as he was turning his hips, just lost the football. Jumps on it for a 5-yard loss, and it's 2nd and 15 for the Miami 43.
Yeah, it just looked like Bazelak and Stewart just weren't quite on the same page there, and the ball just slips out, and Bowling Green very lucky to get on top of it.
2 receivers left and 1 to the right. Out of the gun, snap and throw to the far side by Bazelak. Again misses Fannin, incomplete, and it's 3rd and long. Fannin on that little seam route twice has been open, and Bazelak's just missed him.
Yeah, that one low and outside for Fannin. Definitely a big target, hard to miss him. It was hard to tell from our view. It looked like it got tipped potentially, but either way, Bazelak having trouble finding Fannin so far in this game.
Pretty efficient last week for Bazelak, 18 for 29, 255 yards and 2 touchdowns. Working out of the gun here on 3rd and long. Wind whipping in his face as he moves left to right. Heels on the Falcon logo. High snap held. Dropping back, it's a check down over the middle. Johnson swerves away from the first tackle, but can't from the second. He is brought down by a whole gang of RedHawks at the 40-yard line of Miami. Not nearly enough on a 3-yard gain for the Falcons to pick up the first on 3rd and 15. They'll punt it away, and we will see Caden McDonald back out there to receive for Miami. RedHawks without McDonald, who was their top receiver through non-conference play for the last couple of weeks due to injury. Transfer from Antelope Valley College. John Henderson on to punt. It is a low line drive kick to the far side of the field that scoots out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. They'll mark it at the 13, so somewhat decent execution from the Falcons, but looked like that didn't come off the foot the cleanest for Henderson. And so Miami, at the very least, will be outside their 10-yard line to begin the first drive. 11:55 to go, first quarter. No score, and it's Miami ball on their own 13.
Yeah, not the cleanest kick there from Bowling Green, but ultimately does get the job done. Drive looked pretty promising there to start for Bowling Green, but ultimately a couple mistakes cost them.
Mosey in the heel of the pistol now moves to Gabbert's right. 2 receivers either side. Gabbert takes the snap, catches, swings near side, immediately caught by McDonald. Cuts between tacklers outside the numbers, and he is crashed near the sideline, out of bounds at the 21-yard line after a pickup of 8 yards. And immediately we see that screenplay a lot with McDonald back into the lineup, and Chuck Martin goes right to it.
Yeah, McDonald, not necessarily out, but definitely been limited the past few weeks. So definitely good to see him right back in the action for the RedHawks. He definitely needed in this game.
Pair of receivers either side for Miami. Gabbert out of the shotgun this time with Mosey to his left. He'll shift the formation. All the receivers strut to the right side. Gabbert takes the snap, looking right, homering the deep ball, looking for McDonald, and he's got him into plus territory. Now ball on the ground, picked up by the Falcons. Jordan Oladikin cuts it back to the middle, and he's wrapped up and brought to the turf at the 42-yard line.
Wow.
So call on the field is catch fumble, and it's Falcon football.
Going right back to McDonald there on the deep shot. He had him, hit him right in stride, and then after a couple steps, looked like McDonald just had trouble with the tackle. Ball able to come out, Bowling Green on top of it. My goodness, what a swing of momentum in a mere moments of just seconds. My goodness.
The replay assistant is not off the field yet. It looked close on replay. It did look like, and now the thumbs up are given. Nope. Actually, it was initiated by the review official, so they will take a look at this. I was going to say, in real time and looking back on the replay, not slowed down, it looks like it was probably a fumble if you had to guess, but it is close. And
it's definitely close enough to review.
Yeah, officiating crew is going to say getting the chance to slow this down is probably a smart decision.
Yeah, it looked like McDonald got a couple steps and was really starting to get up the field before he lost the ball, which would count as a fumble. But officiating crew will take a look at it and see if that is the assessment that they come up with.
Jeremy Valentine is the referee heading up this MAC crew on this Friday afternoon, and they will take a look at this. So either way, the play is negated for Miami. Best case scenario here, you're dealing with an incomplete pass, but the call on the field was a catch by Caden McDonald and a fumble. He caught the ball and, as you said, in stride, received it and started running and lost the football. The ball was certainly out before he was down. The question is just where exactly in that pitter-patter of strides he took as he brought the football in. Did he actually secure it, and were there 2 feet down on a football move? And it looks like the Red Hawk offense is coming back out onto the field as the officials are both at the monitor. And Bowling Green is also making their way back down the sideline, so it looks like this may get reversed, but the officials are both still looking at this here.
Yeah, just judging based off of the sidelines, they're both going up the field where the play started, so, and with the offense coming out from Miami, it looks like this is going to get reversed.
So the official's mic is not working, but Jeremy Valentine gave some hand signals, and from that it appeared that he said that McDonald juggled the ball a little bit, didn't have full control with 2 feet, and so that means it's an incomplete pass. So Miami catches a break. It's now 3rd down and 2. They'll back it up to the Red Hawk 21-yard line. Ball on the left hash for Gabbard. Out of the shotgun, single tight end set on the right side. 2 receivers left. Gabbard pointing up at the linebacking core of Bowling Green. Falcons have 5 men on the line of scrimmage. Now we'll show pressure. Gabbard takes the snap, handoff up the middle, and room for Mosey out to the 25 for a first down. Rather, it's Downing on the carry for Miami. The power back for the RedHawks, who had just 6 yards off 4 carries, but had a touchdown last week. And those jumbo type of runs are where the RedHawks want to bring them in. It's a gain of 3 and a first down.
Yeah, you really hit the nail on the head there, Luke. We didn't see Downing a ton last week, but his 1 touchdown did come in a goal line situation. So in situations where Miami needs 1 or 2 yards, I'd expect to see Downing in the ballgame.
Keon Mosey back in for 1st and 10 from the Miami 25. Jack Coldiron motions offset to the left side of the line. Handoff to Mosey, cuts it left through the line of scrimmage. He bursts across the 30-yard line and is torn down at the 32. Tackle made on the play by Ja'Cory Benjamin. It is a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down and 3 for the RedHawks.
And just really good vision there from Mosey, giving the offensive line enough time to make their blocks. And as soon as the hole opens up, he goes in and hits it, gets a good gain for Miami.
3 receivers diagonally stacked on the far side of the field. 1 receiver near side, tight to the formation. Snap to Gabbard, 4-man rush, again a handoff left side. Mosey, he's got room, juking outside the numbers. Keon Mosey lays a stiff arm, and he's shoved out of bounds just short of the 50-yard line. They'll mark him at the 47. It's a gain of 15 and another Red Hawk first down.
And we're really seeing Miami emphasize the run game now with Mosey. A couple big runs there, huge first down there for Miami.
Keon Mosey
getting the ball down the field.
91 yards last week. First time he was held under 100 since the MAC opener against Toledo, but came very close to that in the win over Northern Illinois last week. He remains in the game as the running back. Pair of receivers on each side of Brett Gabbard. His heels on his own 41-yard line. High snap, he pulls it down. Gabbard with the play fake, sets his feet, throwing deep down the field, looking for Tracy. It is intercepted. Brought in for the Falcons by C.J. Brown, the safety. And an interception down to the 13-yard line of Bowling Green. And can't see Chuck Martin right now, but imagine he is not going to be very happy as there was some serious hand fighting there, and Tracy kind of got ripped to the turf.
Yeah, I'm honestly pretty surprised they didn't call like a pass interference or holding on that play on Brown, but big play there for the Falcons. First interception on the year for C.J. Brown. Gabbard trying to go down the field to get again, this time to Javon Tracy. Just not able to get it. Brown wins the battle, and BGSU gets the ball back.
So that'll bring us to a timeout on the field with 8:50 to go, opening quarter. No score between Miami and Bowling Green as the winner heads to Detroit next week. Stay with us. You're listening to Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. 8:50 to go, first quarter. No score between Miami and Bowling Green as the winner goes to the MAC championship game here in the regular season finale. Alongside Bryan Miller, Luke West Poley with you. Both teams were moving the ball pretty well. For Bowling Green, they stalled in Miami territory and had to punt. RedHawks were pinned deep in their own territory, got it out near midfield. Thought they turned it over once on a Cade McDonald fumble. It was overturned to an incomplete pass on review. RedHawks then turned it over a couple plays later on a deep ball thrown to Javon Tracy, who was hand fighting. It was brought in by C.J. Brown, and now Bowling Green has it back at their own 13-yard line. Snap to Bazelak on first down. He hands it off and down the left side. Not a ton of room there for Terrion Stewart. He is tackled, it looks like, right at the line of scrimmage or maybe a yard ahead of it. They'll give him one. It's second down and 9.
Well, I think that turnover isn't the worst thing in the world for Miami. Obviously, you were driving. It sucks not to get points, but since it was on a deep shot, Bowling Green had to start at their own 13, so it kind of acts as a punt in a way, and you're still winning the field position battle.
Harold Fannin, the tight end, lined out wide to the near side. Snapping a handoff, play fake. Bazelak gets blown up. It looked like potentially RPO or maybe just straight play action there for Bowling Green, and it was absolutely lit up by Nazir Washington, who comes in with a sack. He had 3 tackles last week, but none for loss. That's a big one. Back to Bowling Green's 10. It's a loss of 4.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a option play or not. If it was, that was the wrong decision by Bazelak because there was a wide open hole for Stewart to go through.
And that's plenty enough for Miami making the stop to force a Bowling Green punt. It is a gain of, they'll mark him at the 17. Gain of about 8 yards, and that will force the Falcons to kick it away on 4th and 6, and Miami now will be set up with much better field position, and you called it a punt, Bryan. RedHawks are looking to start this drive about where they ended the last one at around midfield. Cade McDonald stands at the 45. Henderson awaits the snap. Junior out of California. Averaging 42 a punt. RedHawks nearly got there, and it's shanked down the right side. It's going to fly out of bounds before it gets to the 30. Silas Walters got into the backfield and certainly influenced, didn't get a hand on the kick, but forced it to just come off the side of Henderson's foot, and it went straight right. RedHawks will start this drive. They'll mark it right at the 30-yard line, and that is a big special teams play to flip things for Miami with 6:49 to go in the first. We've reached another timeout on the field. RedHawks looking to strike first. No score. They'll start from the Falcon 30-yard line when we come back. You're listening to Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. Special teams play by the RedHawks have got them setting up shop in Bowling Green territory. 6:49 to go, first quarter. And Miami looks to break the ice of a scoreless game, starting their drive from the Falcon 30. Alongside Bryan Miller, Poley with you. Temperature is in the low 20s here from Doyt Perry Stadium, and wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Teams are playing through it, but we've already seen the ball security and broken plays have been a little bit of an issue for both teams so far. Gabbert works out of the gun on first down, takes the snap, looking down the middle. He's got McDonald wide open and hits him in stride into the end zone for a Miami touchdown. One play, 30 yards. Welcome back, Cade McDonald, and the RedHawks take the lead with 6:44 to go in the first.
Welcome back, Cade McDonald. My goodness, we haven't seen this version of Cade McDonald in quite some time. Couple catches early on in the first drive and a huge touchdown there for Miami, able to capitalize off the huge special teams play.
Tom Jobin on for the PAT. It took Miami just one play and 5 seconds to punch it in the end zone after the special teams miscue by Bowling Green. Hudson Powell snapped to Alec Bevelheimer. Looked like the hold faced the laces at his kicker, but he still drills it. And Miami has opened a 7-0 lead over Bowling Green with 6:44 to go in the first. And Bryan, we talked about it a little bit off air during the break. You look at that first drive if you're the RedHawks, and certainly things don't go your way necessarily without putting points on the board and ultimately turning it over. But if you really think about it, you had the deep ball that you hit to Cade McDonald and just dropped it with the ball put right in his hands, and then with some hand fighting going on the near side, you can make an argument for some pass interference on the deep ball that resulted in the interception. Either way, you look at that first drive on film if you're Miami, and you're seeing a lot of things you like against this Bowling Green secondary.
Yeah, Miami, the RedHawk offense has done a really good job of just getting down the field. Outside of that one mistake, I don't even know if I would call it a mistake, but the interception on the ball thrown to Tracy. Outside of that, Miami's been very efficient, both running and passing. Offense looks really, really good right now for the RedHawks.
Miami's got the 4th most efficient offense in the MAC. It's been one of the better offenses in conference play this season. They actually sit 11th, though, out of 12 teams in first downs, and it's likely due to that reason. Miami picks up a lot of big plays and got one there to put him in the end zone. Kellen McLaughlin readies to kick this one off. Back to Bowling Green. Offense did not get much time to rest after the 3 and out. End-over-end kick will fall short of the end zone, bounces straight up in the air, and will have to be received. Running out through the near side, the RedHawks swarm on the ball, and they will light up Rakeem Smith, the ball carrier, inside the 20-yard line. So Smith looked like he had a moment of indecision. They'll give him up to the 18-yard line, but that ball took a bounce, and initially it looked like he was going to grab it around the 3. Then at the last moment, it appeared he was going to back up and hopefully let it bounce for a touchback. Then the ball popped straight up in the air, and he had to return it. So Falcons will start inside their own 20. They're one of the better kick-returning teams in the conference, but not that time. Bazelak takes the snap, fakes the pitch backward. Now a handoff down the right side, and Stewart is cracked down at the ankles across the 20-yard line up to the 22. Eli Blakey, the safety, came down to make the stop for the RedHawks, a gain of 4. It's 2nd and 6.
And we're seeing BGSU continue to try to emphasize the running game, try to do a little misdirection there to get the Miami defense out of sorts, able to get a 4-yard gain out of it.
2 receivers spread to the left, 2 stacked to the right. Taking the snap, Bazelak throws near side, tiptoeing the sideline, catch is made, and Johnson pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Caught that pass in open field, but a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Little deceiving there. Looked like he picked up more than he did. Only got 3, and that sets up a 3rd down and 3 for the Falcons from the right hash of their own 25-yard line. Personnel change in the backfield. Justin Pegues coming on for Bowling Green. And he will, it looks like, line up out wide for Bazelak.
This is a gotta-have-it 3rd down for the Falcons, just for the sake of your defense, even spending so much time out on the field. Just gotta get a 1st down to help them rest.
Bazelak takes the snap, looking to throw near side, batted away. It's Rayon Strader, the nation's leader in passes defended entering the week. Knocked that one down. And Bowling Green will have to punt it.
Number 15 for number 13 came into this week tied for first in the country in pass breakups. Now solely in first place, trying to go to Fannin again. Can't really blame them, but 3 RedHawks around him. Really good job from the RedHawk defense to shut down the biggest threat for Bowling Green.
So Henderson back on to punt it. RedHawks rush this time, doesn't get as close. It's a side spiraling kick. Cade McDonald grabs it at the 35, rushes it forward, gets out of a tackle. McDonald stumbling, still on his feet, and shuffles out of bounds outside the 45-yard line. Special teams getting it done. This looks like vintage Miami of last year. They'll start at the 47-yard line, and will have a chance to add to their lead when we come back. 5:12 to go, first quarter. It's RedHawk ball, 3 yards shy of midfield. They lead at 7-0 over the Bowling Green Falcons. You're listening to Miami Football on RedHawk Radio. .5:12 to go, first corner. It's RedHawk ball from their own 47-yard line, starting drive number 3, leading it 7-0. Alongside Bryan Miller, Luke West Poley with you. RedHawk defense forces another 3 and out. Miami's offense has moved it with some efficiency. Brett Gabbert so far 2 for 4 through the air for 38. Touchdown and a pick. On the ground, RedHawks have 26 yards, 22 of them coming from Keon Mosey. It's Mosey in the backfield out of the pistol. Gabbert claps his hands twice and now motions his left hand, and Mosey joins him at his side. Gabbert takes the snap, 4-man rush, pass out wide to the far side, caught by Cade McDonald with blockers down the far side. He is netted up and wrapped out of bounds at the 47-yard line of Bowling Green. And that is a gain for the RedHawks of about 6 yards on first down, so it'll set up 2nd and 4.
And I feel like just week after week, we just see the Miami offense really emphasize getting the ball to the receivers in space, whether it's been Cade McDonald, Javon Tracy, or Reggie Virgil. They're all really good at getting yards after the catch and breaking tackles, and they keep doing it so far today, especially Cade McDonald.
Four down lineman for the Falcons. Snap to Gabbert. Little high. He handles it. Holds. Throws over the middle. Batted up in the air and incomplete. He zipped that thing to McDonald, and it hit him right in the chest, but popped straight up. Fortunately for the RedHawks, ball dropped in the center of about 5 members of the Falcons secondary with a 5-yard radius around it. It's incomplete, and it's third down.
Yeah, that could have been absolute disaster for Miami. Didn't look like a horrible throw, maybe a little bit behind McDonald, the intended target. But yeah, that ball landed right where it needed to. If you're a Miami fan, could have been very, very bad.
Falcons showing pressure, third down and 4. Twin stack to the right, 2 receivers spread left. Gabbert working out of the shotgun. Takes the snap and looks to throw. Gabbert far side, catch made. Javon Tracy out of a tackle and works the tightrope down the far sideline. We'll see where they mark him out. It's plenty for the first down. They'll say he first stepped out at the 33-yard line of the Falcons. Gain of 14, and Miami moves the chains as the clock rolls towards 4 minutes to play in the first. Miami looking to add to their 7-0 lead and now into field goal range with a fresh set of downs.
And once again, a Red Hawk receiver, this time Javon Tracy, getting significant yards after the catch, breaking a tackle, getting another big play for the Miami offense. Huge conversion there.
First catch of the day for Tracy, who had a touchdown pass last week on the trick play. 30 Virgil. Some confusion at the line. Miami gets it worked out. Gabbert out of the shotgun, takes the snap, handoff up the middle. Mosey's got a red carpet up the middle. Finally met 7 yards past the line of scrimmage, still churning, and put down at the 21-yard line. Gain of 12 for Keon Mosey on the handoff. It's another Miami first down.
Just the runs again from Mosey. Just another wide open hole to run right through. Another first down for Miami. Red Hawk offense looking really, really efficient so far.
Lights flick on on a cloudy, chilly day here from Perry Stadium. Temperature just above 20 degrees. Ball on the right hash. Miami works it right to left, leading it 7-0. 3 minutes to play first quarter. Keon Mosey in the backfield to Gabbert's left. He takes the snap, fakes the run, throws near side, jumping catch. Caden McDonald on the screen, cuts it to the outside, dodging a tackle, diving for the pylon. He is marked out of bounds inside the 1-yard line.
Wow. What an unbelievable cut there from Caden McDonald. It looked like there were 2 or 3 Falcon defenders ready to get him, but then he cuts back towards the sidelines, and the Falcons completely miss him. What a cut for Caden McDonald. What a way to just make your presence felt in this game. My goodness.
They're going to say he stepped out a little earlier, so he dove for the pylon, but initially touched the out-of-bounds line at the 6. So that is where Miami will have it first and goal. They line up with 7 on the play clock. 2 receivers wide to the right. Solo man is Andre Johnson, the Arizona State transfer, to the left. Kevin Davis motions into the backfield, gets the handoff, heading left. Davis, 2 men meet him in the backfield, and he's brought down for a loss. Brock Horn, the senior out of Romeo, Michigan, led the way for Bowling Green on the TFL. We'll see where forward progress gets Davis. They'll mark it for a 3-yard loss back to the 9-yard line. And it is second and goal for the RedHawks.
A big tackle there from Brock Horn, making his 56th appearance in his career. That is a school record. His experience really showed out there.
And the Falcons jump on it at the 41-yard line. A disaster finish to that drive for Miami. A personal foul, and Gabbert looked like he had Cade McDonald sights. He jumped that route perfectly, and the interception return took it 41 yards from the goal line back up.
Gabbert just threw that a second too late, Luke. Usually in a situation like that, especially in these tight situations, if you see a receiver that wide open, that means it's too late. And Aladican, a great job of jumping the route there and getting not only the interception, but a big return for Bowling Green. They're going to get the ball back at the 41. And now all of a sudden, Bowling Green taking the momentum back and getting right back in this game.
So 3 promising drives for Miami and only 7 points to show for it. 25 seconds to go first quarter. Falcon ball trailing by a touchdown. The snap and a delayed pitch has to be secured with one hand by Stewart, but he jukes his way across the line of scrimmage up to the 42-yard line. At least got a yard there and secured the football, which was most important. That connection between Bazelak and Stewart has not looked clean today.
Yeah, it really hasn't. The toss there from Bazelak just not it looked like he was just off his body, and Stewart had to do real effort there in order to possess the football. See if that factors in later in the game.
First quarter here from Doyt L. Perry Stadium with our score, Miami 7 and Bowling Green nothing. It's Falcon football when we come back. You're listening to Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. Second quarter getting underway as the teams flip sides from Perry Stadium in Bowling Green, Ohio. Miami leads the Bowling Green Falcons 7-0. It's BG football, 2nd and 9 from their own 42. Miami has moved the football. They threw an interception on a deep ball to the Falcon 13, and most recently another Brett Gabbard interception at the goal line left the RedHawks with no points after they started in Falcon territory. On second down, a throw is batted and caught as Basilak threw a laser that hit off the arms, it appeared, of a RedHawk. That looked like Strader that was there. He hit it with his arms into the arms of Malcolm Johnson Jr. for the catch into Miami territory at the 48 for a first down.
I feel like we've had quite a few plays today, Luke, where it's really just a game of inches. I mean, that's 2 inches in the direction of Strader that might be tipped or picked off. Instead, it's a reception for Bowling Green and a first down.
Basilak operates out of the gun. He's got Jason Patterson with him in the backfield. Takes the snap, fakes the hand to Patterson, sets his feet, looks far, now checks it down. Catch made by Johnson, and he is corralled along the far sideline by Matt Salopek. Brought out of bounds after a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8 coming up to the RedHawk 46-yard line. Ball put on the right hash as we cross the 1-minute mark of the second quarter. Falcons trail at 7-0 in Miami territory.
And I believe that is the 100th tackle in the season for Salopek. That's 4 straight seasons with 100-plus tackles for Salopek.
Snap underneath. It got fumbled, and the RedHawks think they have it. That is a completely broken play. Connor Bazelak is right now protesting to the official on the backside, and the signal is that Bowling Green did get on the football. But what the heck even happened there? It looked like Bowling Green from up here was trying some misdirection, snapping that to someone other than the quarterback in Bazelak, but it appears that Alex Padgett, the center, had some sort of snap issue, and there was just a dog pile on the football there. It's going to end up as a 1-yard gain, it looks like, for the Falcons, and it's 3rd down and 7 from the Miami 45.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that was. It looked like they were trying to snap it to someone other than the quarterback, Bazelak, but Bowling Green very, very, very lucky there that they're able to come up with the football.
Falcons are 0 for 3 on 3rd down today. Bazelak takes the snap. Shovel pass is tipped at the line and incomplete. Another quick snap there for Bowling Green. Bazelak faked the roll to the near side and tried to shovel it right in the middle of all kinds of traffic at the line of scrimmage. It was pretty much impossible to see who the intended target was there, but the RedHawks were all over it, knocked it down, and BG will punt.
Yeah, it was just a high snap there from Alex Padgett, and on a play like that, timing is just so important. A high snap, even just like by a quarter of a second, messes everything up there, and that's just an easy stop for Miami.
End-over-end kick. McDonald fakes receiving it, and the Falcons are going to run it to the 1 and down it.
Perfect.
Good punt coverage there. Darius Lorfils downs it inside the 1. It is a 44-yard punt for BG, and the RedHawks will start it in the shadow of their own goal line. 13-19 to go, second quarter. Miami leads it 7-0, but 99 yards separated from the end zone on this impending drive. We're back to Perry Stadium after this. You're listening to Miami Football on RedHawk Radio. $13-19 to go in the second quarter. It's Miami 7 and Falcons 0. Good punt, though, by Bowling Green. Has Miami set up from their own 1-yard line to start this drive. Alongside Bryan Miller, Luke West Poley with you. And Bryan, this seems like high time for a point where the RedHawks could use a Keon Mosey chunk run.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done a really good job of that in conference play. Going to need to do it here.
Big boys up front, everybody tight to the line for both teams. Snap to Gabbert, handoff goes to Downing. Did he get out of the end zone? Yes, they will say he did. Right at the half-yard line. Wow, just enough there for Dylan Downing to get past the goal line and save Miami 2 points. It's about a half-yard loss, officially no gain, and just backing the football further inside Miami's 1. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and we've talked about how Miami's kind of struggled at points this season to get the tough yards running. We just need 1 or 2 yards, especially at the goal line, but usually the opposing team's goal line, not their own. So really important for Miami to just get anything here.
Now RedHawks have 2 receivers out wide. They'll motion one and Johnson into the backfield. Handoff up the middle. Downing again. Did he get out of the end zone? No signal. Officials are going to meet here. No signal. It was very close. It's a safety. And the RedHawks can't get it out of their end zone. And the Falcons take 2 points.
Oh, my goodness. Obviously, this game has a safety, right? It just seems bound to happen. I'm just a little curious. I mean, obviously, they run out of shotgun a lot. Miami does. But I just can't help but wonder if that would happen if you're running under center. And also, in that situation, I think it might be worth it to try to hard count a little bit. Because if you get a false start or delay a game, if you're in Miami distance, which is like inches compared to yards usually. But if you're able to get them to jump off sides, that's a 5 yards and you're not in your end zone anymore. But regardless, a big play there for Bowling Green. Now they're going to get the ball back, only down 5.
Replay confirms it. So a safety makes it a 7-2 Miami lead with 12:15 to go in the second quarter. And again, like you said, Bryan, again, in years past for the RedHawks, you look at a team like last year and running out a shotgun in that situation, there really weren't any looks under center in the playbook. And so then maybe it's a little understandable that they don't run it under center. But this year we have seen a couple of packages where Brett Gabbert lines up with a single back under center. And unfortunately, RedHawks will cough it up. And now you give a very dangerous return team for Bowling Green a chance to run the field on this free kick.
Yeah, you mentioned not a whole lot of looks under center, so it is understandable, especially with the potential exchange between the center and quarterback, but just can't help but wonder. Miami's defense going to need to step up again. Bowling Green should be able to get pretty good field position here.
So instead of the punt, it will be a kickoff for the RedHawks on this free kick. Ball blew off the tee, so the RedHawks will have to go send William Hardrick to go hold it for the kicker in Kellen McLaughlin. Returner standing at the 25-yard line for the Falcons. Likely going to get good field position here. And kicking right into the teeth of the wind. The right arm is raised. And McLaughlin boots it away. A high end-over-end kick to the far sideline. It is grabbed and out of bounds. And they'll say not on the catch either by the return man on the play for Bowling Green, and looked like Tracy Revels. Or rather, that was Rakeem Smith for the Falcons that had the return. So he didn't step out of bounds when he caught the football, which could have drawn a flag for the RedHawks, and instead he caught it and then stepped out of bounds. So that's pretty much best case scenario if you're Miami.
Yeah.
It's only a return of about 3 yards, and the Falcons have it from their own 28-yard line. 12:13 to go in the second quarter. It's 7-2. Miami lead after the safety. Bazelak fakes the run to the far side, now hands it off, and underneath there's the first touch for Fannin. He will motor forward and be ripped backward by Hondrew and Salopek for the RedHawks after a 4-yard gain to the 32. And finally the ball into the hands of the machine, Harold Fannin.
Yeah, Miami's done a pretty good job shutting him down in the receiving game, so you got to get your best player the ball in creative ways. Why not a rushing attempt? His 7th on the year, does have a touchdown this season on a rush, so certainly an understandable play call there.
All 125 of his yards last week through the air, but Chuck Martin said in his presser midweek, they'll line him up everywhere. They'll use him in the passing and run games. Play fake for Bazelak, looking far side, throwing there. It is brought in with open space for Johnson. He gets near the sticks, and he's got the first down to the 38-yard line on his own half of the field. Finally brought out by Corbin Hondrew of Miami, and Corey Suttle is injured on the Falcons sideline. Or rather, that looks like Ty. They announced over the PA that it was Corey Suttle that made the tackle. It was Ty Wise that helped out for Miami, and he got himself back up to his feet and jogged halfway where the training staff met him between the hashes. And that brings us to a timeout on the field with 11:14 to go in the second quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 38-yard line with a 7-2 score line led by Miami.
Yeah, certainly didn't look great there for Wise at first. That would be a big loss for the Red Hawk defense, but able to jog off the field. Looks like he's going to be okay, which is definitely big for the Red Hawks.
Wise is a guy that's been banged up this year. Remember, back for the majority of MAC play, he was limited really to just pass rushing downs. You would see him a lot on 3rd down, and in situations like that, he's a big TFL guy for Miami. He's a big veteran leader for the Red Hawks, but was largely limited. He's been closer, not necessarily in health to 100%, but in terms of the number of snaps he's taking, he's been out there in full force.
Yeah, I think that's probably been one of the better things for Miami this season, Luke, as I'm knocking on our table right now, is that they really haven't dealt with any major injuries throughout the season. The only big one has been Kenny Tracy for the running back room, but even then, I would say they've been able to make up his production so far.
Yeah, the Tracy one, you at least had time to plan for. It happened literally within the first week of camp, which is, of course, less than ideal for different reasons, but the one positive you could take away from that for Miami is you had plenty of time to prepare for the season without Tracy, and like you said, the Redhawks have kind of found a way on the ground. It took them some time, but they did figure out how they wanted to look in terms of their run game. But yeah, Tony Coleman, who is a true freshman DB, is really the only guy you'll see on the depth chart this week for Miami that is fully listed as out for the Redhawks in terms of the availability reports that came out this morning. Cade McDonald was limited. He was questionable last week and did not play as questionable, I should say, as was Rayon Strader. The difference is Strader played. He had a phenomenal game last week against Northern Illinois. And so it was obviously a lift. Chuck Martin said going into that Northern Illinois game, they were hopeful they could get both guys back, but they probably wouldn't be 100%. But you could tell that the coaching staff, although they didn't say it publicly, behind closed doors, in all likelihood was targeting this game for a full 100% return of both of those guys. And they are back, and they both made an impact on this game already.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely want to get your best players playing 100%, definitely in a game like this, of this magnitude.
So the Falcon offense returns to the field. 1st and 10, Bowling Green. Wind at their backs, taking it right to left in the brown uniforms. Clock moves once again, 11-10. And counting to go, second quarter. 7-2 our score with Miami in front. Single tight end set, snap to Bazelak. Fakes the run, throws it near side. Brought in at the sticks by Johnson. And he is tackled right at the 48-yard line. Haven't moved the chains yet, but they will say yes, first down, gain of an even 10.
It looked like he was right at it, and Malcolm Johnson really stepped up today for the Falcons. 5 receptions for 47 yards with Fannin being shut down so far in the receiving game. Someone else going to have to step up, and Johnson has done just that.
Already way past his output this week. Little triple option look for the Falcons. Toss to the near side. Finds Jamal Johnson, who runs up the sideline. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 47-yard line of Miami. After a gain of 5, little triple option look. We are seeing the kitchen sink.
Yeah, we sure
thrown
are.
at this Red Hawk defense by Scott Leffler. It's 2nd down and 5 into Miami territory for the Falcons.
And Bazelak pitched that out just in time because Matt Salopek rocked him right after he pitched it out. Good timing there. Very creative play calling we've seen from Bowling Green today. Another 5-yard gain.
Single receivers out wide either side. Bazelak takes the snap, drops 3 steps, looking to throw. Airs it far side of the field, caught by Johnson on the hashes. and he will concede at the 37-yard line after a gain of 10, and another Falcon first down as we cross the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. Ball moves to the right hash. Falcon offense on the move, looking to take the lead, trailing in this game 7-2.
And once again, it was Malcolm Johnson. We've just seen Bowling Green with these 5 to 10 yard passes, been very effective.
Bazelak fakes the run, steps up in the pocket, throws it near side, caught by Fannin. First down and out of bounds to the 24-yard line. He found the hole in the zone, and there is the first catch through the air finally, or second, I should say, for Harold Fannin. Nope, rather first catch of the game, second touch for the big tight end out of the powerhouse Canton McKinley High School up in the northeast part of Ohio. First down and 10 from the Miami 24 for Bowling Green.
And we saw Bazelak running around there, creating some more time there. Gets more time for Fannin to get open, and he's able to hit him there.
Handoff down the left side. Stewart gets across the line of scrimmage, but pushed backward, and they'll mark him, looks like, for maybe the gain of a yard. Corbin Hondrew stood him up pretty much right at the line of scrimmage, and it will be no gain. Second down and 10 coming up for the Falcons.
Stop here would be pretty big for Miami. Force them to a field goal, still maintain the lead. I think that would be definitely successful for this Red Hawk defense.
And the kicking game has been a question mark for Bowling Green. Right now teetering on the edge of range. Bazelak with a play fake, fires near side, caught by Fannin, just a couple yards maybe. Nope, he's right at the line of scrimmage and out of bounds. Up about a yard, but not a lot there for Fannin on the catch. It's just a gain of 1, and it's third down and 9. From here, it would be a 40 to 41-yard field goal. And again, that would be a tough place to kick from if you're Bowling Green. Miami would like to keep them right here.
And especially with the wind today, field goals will be challenging.
Gusts up to 30 miles an hour, sustained wind around 20 miles an hour. Bazelak takes the snap on third down, looking for Fannin, and he airmailed him incomplete. Oh, Fannin wasn't looking at the line of scrimmage on the post route, and the throw was over top the target. Little too quick there from Bazelak, and now a bit of a long field goal coming out here for the Falcons. We'll see who they run out. Jackson Cleather was listed atop the depth chart for Bowling Green. However, he and the kickoff specialist, Zach Long, have both been involved today, and it is Long who is going to kick. 11 for 14 on the year, a little bit of a bigger leg, kicking from 50 yards away for his Long on the season. This time it's from 41. Wind at his back from the left hash. It's crossing a little bit from left to right, kicking to the closed end of the stadium. Carlson snap, it's down, kick is up, it is wobbly, but it's got plenty of distance, and it is right down the middle for Zach Long. So the 41-yarder for Zach Long is driven through, and a safety and a field goal have given us a high-scoring hockey lacrosse score potentially with 7:47 to go in the second quarter. It is Miami 7 and Bowling Green 5. So the RedHawks retain the lead, set to get the ball back, and with their offense now not working against a long field, and most importantly, not having to get out of their end zone every play, Bryan, they've really, again, been good. Felt a little bit of the issues that cropped up earlier in the season, though, and that the RedHawks have struggled to find the end zone when they've gotten into Falcon territory.
Yeah, we've seen this Red Hawk offense struggle in the red zone at points this season, but mostly early in the season they've really fixed that up lately, especially in MAC play, but reared its ugly head again on that interception. Just a good time for the RedHawks here to just reset everything, get a long drive here, and get some points on the board.
Ball's on the tee for Long. Kevin Davis standing in his own 3-yard line. Falcon band drumming away in the far bleachers and are about 2/3 full. Long lost this one high into the air. Davis comes all the way out to the 8-yard line to receive it and now heads right. Davis had a hole, but it's closed off immediately, and he is brought down at the 19-yard line. What a special teams tackle from Patrick Day, who came in for Bowling Green through what appeared to be a hole for the returner Kevin Davis, but he got hit by a Mack truck when he tried to go between his two blockers. And the RedHawks will start from their own, call it 18-yard line with 7:41 to go in the second quarter. They've still got the lead. And they will get the ball out of halftime. Right now it's 7-5 Miami. Gabbert out of the gun. He's got Mosey to his right. Claps twice, now motions Jack Cold Iron from wide out right, tight to the line. Mosey shifts to Gabbert's left. He claps, takes the snap next to his helmet, hands it off for Mosey, and he is hit immediately. Mosey goes down. As a nice job by Charles Rosser, the Sam linebacker for the Falcons and Cleveland native, to make the tackle after just a 1-yard gain. And similarly to that special teams play, Bryan.
Just as soon as it became open, it closed very quickly with Rosser. Really good job of meeting Dave, meeting a big play.
2 receivers and a tight end out wide to the left. Mosey on the right of Brett Gabbert from the shotgun. Another handoff. Mosey counters it left, has a hole. Keon Mosey lowers the shoulder and barrels across the 25-yard line to the 26. It is a gain of 7, and it's 3rd down and 2 for Miami. They're 2 for 3 today on 3rd down situations.
And once again, this is a situation where I think you would like to run the ball, try to get a tough couple yards here, but I'm not sure if Miami is going to be able to do that. We'll see what the play selection is. It's just huge, especially for the Red Hawk defense, for the Miami offense to get a 1st down here.
Last drive, RedHawks set up from the 1-yard line. Were stood up once for no gain and then once for a 1-yard loss for the safety by this Bowling Green defensive front. Gabbert takes the snap. It's a handoff down the middle. Plenty of room for a 1st down for the RedHawks. It's Keon Mosey that again gets the carry. And an interesting look there, Bryan. Not the power back in Dylan Downing that we've seen in short yardage. Instead, the RedHawks go with the speed man and number 1 RB and Mosey to pick up the 1st down to the 31.
Yeah, that was a big conversion there. Really good job from the offensive line, creating holes to run through. Mosey able to find them and get through it and get a huge, huge 1st down for the RedHawks.
Mosey remains in the game as the back. 1 receiver wide to the left, 2 wide to the right. Miami taking it left to right. 5:34 and counting to go 2nd quarter. Out of the pistol, Gabbert takes the snap, throws it near side. Caught by Tracy. Dodges the 1st tackler, now the 2nd. And he gets launched down to the ground off a leaping tackle.
Hawkins listed as a nose guard. Don't often see a nose guard trying to tackle a receiver on the outside, but really good job there from the Falcon defense preventing a major play.
Again, pistol formation with Mosey, the back 2 yards behind Gabbert. Clapping his hands twice. Gabbert now motions for Mosey to join him to his right. Gabbert takes the snap, throws near side. Catch made. Reggie Virgil out near the sticks and to the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 6 and a 1st down for Miami. First catch for who's been the top receiver in MAC play for Miami, Reggie Virgil. 107 yards through the air last week. In his first grab.
Yeah, first reception for Virgil has played a major factor in these past few weeks. Just enough there for the 1st down.
Just 1 total catch last year for Virgil. He has been a great find. McDonald following his blocker, and Johnson slips out of a shoestring tackle, and finally he is crushed as he gets out of bounds right near the sticks. We'll see where they mark him. It looks like the 20-yard line's the spot, and officials are saying 1st down. Another screen for Cade McDonald. And the 10-yard grab puts him up to 69 for the game with a touchdown off 5 catches. RedHawks into the red zone as we approach 3 minutes to play in the 1st half, leading at 7-5.
And like we've seen from this Miami offense all year long, just getting your receivers in open space and just making them, or letting them make plays.
RedHawks have gone with a lot of pistol. They start with it here. Now shift Mosey to Gabbert's left. Miami quarterback standing on the left hash. Ball in the Falcon 20. Leaps as he takes the snap, sets his feet, throws far side, tipped into the hands of his own receiver for a Red Hawk touchdown. Oh, it went between the wickets of Javon Tracy. He tipped it up into the air. It looked like it might get picked. Instead, it's Virgil that was on the backside, catching it and walking into the end zone for the 20-yard score.
Well, they say it's better to be lucky than good, right? My goodness, what a break for Miami. Right off the hands and right to Virgil for the touchdown. My goodness, what a play for Miami. And yet again, we've seen it time and time again in this game, Luke. Just a game of inches, right? Very nearly a tipped ball and interception, instead of touchdown for the RedHawks.
Dom Jobin knocks the PAT down Broadway, and with 2:40 to go in the 1st half, another chunk pass play puts Miami into the end zone for the second time. 20-yard connection between Brett Gabbert and Reggie Virgil. And our score near the end of the first half is Miami 14 and Bowling Green 5. We're back to Perry Stadium for the conclusion of half one. After this, you're listening to Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. Quarter, and Miami has the Reggie Virgil touchdown, lift them to a 14-5 lead over the. Glad you're with us, hopefully in a warmer spot. Alongside Bryan Miller, Poley with you as the RedHawks get set to kick this one. Away. Both teams at 3 timeouts. Very big drive upcoming for Bowling Green. If you're Miami, you're getting the ball back out of half. You just scored a touchdown. You would love to get the ball back here and put more points on the board before half by either a field goal or maybe even 6 if you're Bowling Green. Not only would you want to answer, but you would like to get within a couple of points before half and hold Miami off the scoreboard. Again, the wind really getting to these kickers on the kickoffs. Miami will have to send William Hardrick to go hold for Kellen McLaughlin. RedHawks kicking right into the wind, left to right, the open end of Perry Stadium. SEBO Athletics Center kind of closes things off on the other side. It's certainly easier to kick from right to left on days like this. Kick falls well short of the end zone, all the way out to the 12-yard line where it is returned forward. Initial pressure was met for Akeem Smith, and he kind of sidestepped right and went down around the pile at the 26-yard line, so about a 13-yard return there. And with 2:34 to go, second quarter, Falcons will have possession. And Bryan, at least if you're Bowling Green, you're coming off one of your better drives offensively. You move the ball, and your offense finally got you points.
Yeah, they've done a good job of getting it down the field in between the 20s, but once they get in tight areas in or around the red zone, they've really struggled, which we've seen commonplace against this Miami defense.
On first down, a play fake. RedHawks nearly get to the quarterback. Instead, throw to the near side is caught by Fannin in the backfield. He steps around the line of scrimmage and gets up to the 27-yard line before he is smashed. It looked like Silas Walters laid a big hit on the tight end, who Miami has done a fantastic job limiting so far. Again, Chuck Martin alluded to it a little bit. Harold Fannin is going to get touches. There's not really much you can do about that. It's just kind of limiting where those touches come and the yards after catch, and the RedHawks have done that. Bowling Green stepped up to the line and appeared as if they were going to snap the ball, but it does run it down to the 2-minute timeout. Not sure if the Falcons were aware that was incoming. RedHawk pressure almost got home there, just missed on the sack for Bazelak. He escaped. Falcons got a yard. They're facing 2nd and 9 from their own 27 when we come back. 2 minutes to play, first half from Perry Stadium. It's Miami 14 and Bowling Green 5. You're listening to Miami football on RedHawk Radio. Two minutes to play, first half. It's Miami 14 and Bowling Green 5. Falcons have it 2nd and 9 from their own 27. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. And Bryan, going to be very interesting here how each team manages the clock. There's going to be some cat and mouse, it appears, over these final couple minutes to see who wants to use timeouts.
Yeah, both teams with 3 timeouts and a 2nd and 9. If it's a little to no gain, you would think Miami would call a timeout. But if it's like a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, it'll be interesting to see what each of these coaches decide to do.
Bazelak looks to throw on 2nd down. He'll throw it to the near side. Jumping catch by Finn Hogan. He is smothered.
And them to get this first down.
Bazelak takes the snap. 4-man rush. Throw near side. Caught by Finn and short of the sticks. He's brought down. Matt Salopek tackled him at the 32-yard line. And the Falcons, facing 4th down, will likely punt it here.
That was a just phenomenal 2-play sequence there from the Miami defense. Matt Salopek right on it when Fanning got the ball here, right? The clock is still running.
Miami is not calling timeout, and Bowling Green's just kind of hanging around. They're keeping their offense on the field. And, wow, RedHawks are not calling timeout. We move under a minute to go. Miami leads at 14-5. Bowling Green's got it 4th and 4. They're leaving their offense on the field, but I don't think Scott Loeffler has any intention of going for this. He's the one who calls the timeout. So the only thing I could think of there is if you're Chuck Martin, you get to save one of your timeouts by having that clock run down, and you force Scott Loeffler to call his, which is what happens. Problem is, you just lost 40 seconds. 52 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. RedHawks are going to get the ball back. Question is where. Ball's on the 32 right now for Bowling Green on their own half of the field. Miami up by 9, and again, RedHawks will get the ball out of halftime. Wind has been ripping in the face of these kickers. We have not seen Dom Jobin kick a field goal yet today. We did see him attempt an extra point with no problem, but on the kickoffs that Kellen McLaughlin has had, kicking left to right, which is the direction Miami would kick field goals, they've been about 10 yards shorter than they would normally be, so it's clearly affecting the kicking game here. We'll have to monitor that situation as it goes on. For now, John Henderson out to punt it. Cade McDonald stands at his own 25. Snap back to him is held, and Henderson sends a spiraling kick in the air, and a fair catch called for and hauled in by Cade McDonald. And some words exchanged as McDonald brings it in with some Falcon rushers. He'll be somewhere between the 29 and 30. They'll give him the benefit out to the 30-yard line with 45 seconds remaining. So again, the positive you take away from not calling timeout there if you're Miami's, you've got all three. And so we will see what Chuck Martin elects to do here, getting the ball out of the halftime break.
Yeah, I know in previous situations like this, we haven't seen Chuck Martin very aggressive in these situations. But
and the RedHawks are going to kneel. Wow.
It's just a little surprising. I mean, you do get the ball to start off the second half, which is good, but like 45 seconds left, 3 timeouts, you've been able to move the ball pretty well. I mean, get yourself a chance at a field goal here, try to double up. I don't quite understand it, to be honest, Luke, but Chuck Martin content with a 9-point lead.
Oh, okay, never mind. Meanwhile, I was going to say the RedHawks are running off the field. I guess someone got the benefit there. I guess Scott Leffler just said mail it in because Gabbert took the knee with more than 40 seconds left on the clock, and RedHawks started running off the field. Looked like they were going to have to down it again, but they will not, and that will take us to the end of the first half with Miami leading Bowling Green 14-5. So, Bryan, a little bit of an odd decision there. I guess maybe Chuck Martin kind of showed his hand by not calling timeout on the punt for Bowling Green, but overall, RedHawks moved the ball. They executed, especially on the defensive side. Couple of turnovers by the Miami offense. It's a 2-interception game from Brett Gabbert, but on the road, you weathered 2 turnovers to just 5 opposing points. You'll come out of the locker room already with a 2-score lead. Not bad here on the road for the first half.
Yeah, I mean, just outside of a couple instances of having trouble in the red zone, whether it was the Gabbert interception or well, I guess this isn't the red zone, the opposite red zone with the safety, I'd say Miami's offense has done really, really well. But I think the defense has done an even better job. Holding Harold Vannon to 4 receptions and 20 yards in 1 half is absolutely phenomenal. He's, I mean, one of the best tight ends in the country, one of the best players in the country, and to do that good of a job defending him, an excellent, excellent job by this Miami defense.
So we will take a break, and when we come back, second half will be on the way here from Perry Stadium. Again, after 30 minutes, our score is Miami 14 and Bowling Green 5. You're listening to Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. Stay with us. We're back after this. Second half about to begin here from Perry Stadium. Our score after 30 minutes is Miami 14 and Bowling Green 5. Alongside Bryan Miller, Luke West Poley with you. RedHawks elected with 3 timeouts and about a minute 40 left to not take them. Got the ball back after some lengthy rundown by Bowling Green's punt unit. RedHawks got it with about 40 seconds left on the clock and elected to take the knee with 3 timeouts. So if that, of any takeaway, I guess, Bryan, that you could have from that call for Chuck Martin at the end of the half, at the very least, it's safe to say he feels very confident that his offense is going to go out and score here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially with a 9-point lead, Chuck Martin putting confidence in his offense to get some more points on the board and potentially really, really make this hard to get for Bowling Green for the rest of the second half.
If you're Miami, you score a touchdown here on this opening drive, you really put the pressure on, because then you're looking at a 16, or if you want to, 17-point lead if you elect to try for the 2-point. But first, the RedHawks will have to take the ball. Miami now working it from right to left in the white uniforms and red helmets. Bowling is on pace to be one of his most efficient games of the year. But 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 142 yards through the air in half one for Brett Gabbert. He starts with Keon Mosey behind him in the backfield. Now moving to Gabbert's right out of the gun. Snap to him. Gabbert looks left, throws left, complete to Caden McDonald following his blocker and wrestled down at the shoulders. Caden McDonald goes down. Good hit applied by Jordan Oladokun, who had the interception on the goal line for Bowling Green in that first half. It's a 3-yard pickup on the screen to McDonald, who's continuing to see a lot of targets. That's his 6th. He's now over 70 yards for the game, and it's 2nd and 7 from the left hash.
Yes, making a huge impact on this game, McDonald is. Haven't seen him a ton in these recent games, but certainly making his presence felt today.
Play clock under 10 for Miami. Gabbert out of the gun, motions Jack Coldiron to run across the line. Where is he setting up? There's some shifting in the backfield. Panic on both sides of the ball. Snap to Gabbert, handoff up the middle to Mosey, and maybe got a yard before he is gobbled up.
Not the best first half in the world for Mosey, 47 yards in the first, but Luke, as we've seen throughout MAC play, they just keep running the ball in the second half. Eventually they get a few explosive runs, and they really just blow games open. If they're able to follow a similar trend tonight, it'll be very, very advantageous for the RedHawks.
Miami up to the 30-yard line. It's 3rd down and 5. Gabbert holding both of his hands above his head out to the sides. He takes the snap, pressure off the edge, check down to the near side. Virgil, and he's brought down short of the sticks. Bowling Green was all over the screen. It was Ja'Cory Benjamin that made the tackle after a 2-yard gain on the screenplay to Virgil, and Miami will bring on the punt unit.
Bowling Green, their defense did a really good job that drive of just rallying around and getting to the ball carrier. 2 screens and a run for Miami on that drive. Bowling Green just doing a really good job of rallying around and tackling whoever had the ball.
Bevelheimer shoots a low line driver that sends Pegues backwards, and he muffed it. Pegues running back on it, pounds on the football at the 13-yard line, but off the hands of the returner, and instead of looking at maybe 20 to 25-yard line start position for the Falcons, they'll instead begin their first drive of the second half from their own 13 with 12:46 to go in quarter number 3, trailing 14-5.
And Bowling Green really, really fortunate once again. Luke, this is kind of hard to believe. In the first half, Bowling Green had 4 fumbles, and they recovered all of them. So that was their 5th on the day, and somehow they're able to get on all of them. Really, really good breaks for Bowling Green. Could be so much worse for them.
Mazalak will start out of the shotgun and hands it off underneath to Stewart, trying to spin away from a tackle. Salopek, though, all over his back, would not let him get away. Picking up 2 yards there after a short gain. Stewart in the first half, 6 carries for 26 yards. He's had the most touches on the ground of any Falcon. Picks up 2 to make it 2nd and 8 as Bowling Green up to their own 15-yard line.
And outside of Malcolm Johnson, the receiver, pretty much the entire Bowling Green offense has been stagnant. You just got to get Harold Fanning going here if you're Bowling Green.
Motion into the backfield, handoff up the middle for Johnson with room down the center, and Johnson works the seam up to the 24-yard line. Jamal Johnson, who was motioned from out wide into the backfield and got that handoff. A patient run, waited for that hole to open, and picked up 9 to move the chains. It's 1st and 10.
We've seen a lot of pre-snap motion or just general misdirection from this Bowling Green offense in the first half, really emptying the kitchen sink. So many different creative play calls.
Bazelak fakes the handoff to Pegues, throws it over the middle. It's intercepted by Ty Wise. Nobody remotely there for Miami, and Wise runs it to the far side. Down he goes at the 35-yard line.
Oh my goodness. What a break for Miami. There had to have been some type of miscommunication between Bazelak and their intended receiver, because that went right to Miami's defense. I have no idea where he was going with the football there.
There were a couple receivers on that side of the field, but all of them ran patterns that looked to be deep down the far sideline. None of them were in that area, and that throw was cut loose with some confidence by Bazelak. You could tell he thought he had somebody there, but he threw that right at Ty Wise, and this Red Hawk linebacking core continuing to rack up interceptions. That's the 6th interception of the year by a Miami linebacker, believe it or not.
I don't know if I've ever seen or heard anything quite like that.
Gabbert takes the snap on 1st down, sets his feet looking for the home run, and it's incomplete down the near side. Kind of split his 2 receivers there, both Virgil and Tracy in the area. The ball was a shade closer to Tracy, who was up the seam of the near hash, but overshot both of them, and it's 2nd and 10 from the Bowling Green 36-yard line.
Yeah, Miami definitely looking to take a shot there off of the turnover. All receivers going deep, just not quite able to connect there, and it's going to be 2nd and long.
Gabbert will work out of the pistol formation for now, although we've seen Miami pretty much all game motion out of this, and they do. Mosey to the right side of his 6th-year quarterback, Brett Gabbert. Claps once, has the snap, pressure off the edge. Gabbert steps up, fires deep down the far sideline again, and it's incomplete. RedHawks were looking for a flag as Virgil was the intended target, but the coverage was clean from Ja'Cory Benjamin, and 2 deep shots, not really close for Brett Gabbert. Rare to see him misfire that badly twice in a row. It's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at the 2 play calls there. We've seen them have success getting the ball to their receivers and open space, try to drain some more clock there, but 2 deep shots from Miami, and now it's a 3rd and 10.
Pair of receivers both sides, lined up out wide. One's a tight end, actually, and it's Jack Coldiron, who will head to the right side of the line of scrimmage. Running back is Downing. Gabbert hands it to him. Downing gets met, gets back to his feet as he kept the knee up and works down to the 30-yard line. So the RedHawks probably trying to get some more room for their kicker, Dom Jobin. That does move them into field goal range. It's now 4th and 4 after the 6-yard run by Dylan Downing, but Miami's keeping the offense on the field.
I think with the
again, former All-MAC punter from a couple seasons ago. Jobin this year has been very reliable from short distances and fairly reliable from longer ones. Came onto the scene, he missed a couple field goals early on this season, missed his first attempt of the year from 50 yards out lakeside at Northwestern in similarly windy conditions. However, the wind this time is at his back. He's kicking to the closed end of the stadium. There is a little bit of cross to it, though, from left to right. It's kind of a diagonal backwind for Miami's kicker. And so we'll see if that plays into it. Kickers also, though, do like kicking in the cold. And so,
really,
yeah, we'll see what they try to do here.
Certainly it will be a interesting decision. I think the 3rd down call, deciding to run it up the middle there, I guess that can go both ways. But for me personally, that would lean, in my opinion, more towards going for it, just because it's a shorter situation. You've had success getting it to your receivers in these short plays like this.
And the thought here, Brian, I guess you get this out of range of a touchdown on a field goal if you kick this, but you kick this, and for now, if you make the field goal, which isn't if, this is near the outer edges of Jobin's range from about 47 or 48 yards away. We have seen Miami often on these longer field goals give their kicker an extra yard by holding it 8 yards back from the line of scrimmage instead of the usual 7. And you kick it here, assuming you make it, it's a 12-point game, which the difference between 12 and 9, again, it's a touchdown and a field goal. Can't give you the lead. But at the same time, Bowling Green's still within 2 touchdowns. So does that play into the factor potentially of going for it? Miami has not attempted a 4th down yet in this game. Again, they're a little under 50% on the year, which sits near the bottom of the MAC.
Yeah, I think Martin in these situations, Luke, would typically opt for the field goal just based on what we've seen this year. They don't really go for on 4th down that often, but I just feel like the weather plays such a big impact in this decision.
RedHawks, though, are going to bring the offense on the field. Chuck Martin has said time and time again when he's been called a conservative coach that he hates that title and that he's a complimentary football coach. He will roll the dice here and there, though, and he's going to do it here. 4th down and 4 for Miami. With 10:37 to go, 3rd quarter, RedHawks on top 14-5. It would be a 47-yard field goal from this spot. Instead, after the 6-yard run by Dylan Downing on 3rd and 10, RedHawks elect to go for it. 2 receivers tight on the far side, 1 receiver in the slot on the near side. That's Javon Tracy.
Could always opt to do a hard count here as well, 4th and 4.
And both sides jumped, and they're pointing at each other. Kevin Davis was the back for Miami, so it was probably a passing down there if you're the RedHawks, but the officials are going to meet, and who moved first? Could be a career long, and in these conditions, you may or may not want to kick that. And what's Miami going to run out here? It looks like the punt team.
Yeah, this would just be a really, really challenging field goal from this distance. I wonder if that was the play all along there was to try to get the hard count. I don't know. Who knows if they're going to actually run a play there or not.
Bevelheimer takes the snap. A high end-over-end kick, flipped inside the 10, bounces once. Can the RedHawks keep it out of the end zone? A diving swat from Silas Walters. An indication is Miami kept it off the goal line, and they'll down it at the 3.
That was a phenomenal play by Walters there. Keep the ball out of the end zone. We were talking about him earlier, special team superstar for Miami. Helped cause the shanked punt in the first half, and another huge, huge play on special teams there.
Walters led the nation in special teams tackles last season. And, man, he is good in all facets of special teams. He's seen more of a role on the defensive side of the ball this year, but has still wanted to play that ST, and that was a phenomenal effort at it. Officials, though, it does look like might go take a look. So they will go review this and see if the RedHawks kept it off the goal line. For Alec Bevelheimer, Miami's punter, senior out of Indianapolis, excellent year last year, filling in for now Miami's kicker Dom Jobin, who missed the entire season due to injury. That is likely the reason that Jobin is now the kicker, because he assumed after Jobin had a very strong All-MAC campaign 2 years ago as Miami's punter that he was going to move back into that role when he got healthy, but Bevelheimer was too good, so that moved Jobin to the place-kicking unit. It's been a little bit of a disappointing season in terms of the power leg for Bevelheimer, who was on the Ray Guy watch list for National Punter of the Year in preseason. Very rough start to the year, but despite the 41-yard average.
A game like this, tight end that often, but fan, just so good at breaking tackles as well. Tied for first in the country in broken tackles. We just saw one there. Just so dangerous with the ball in his hands.
So a gain of 4, rather, for Harold Fannin. 2nd down and 6 from the Falcons, 7. Bazelak hands it off, and up the middle. Stewart got turned around. He's brought down. His feet were in first down territory, but the ball was not. They'll mark that at the 12. And he's a yard shy. So 3rd down and 1 for the Falcons, looking for their first conversion of the day. They are 0 for 6.
And certainly a big one here, especially considering where they are in the field. You don't get it here, they likely would not go for it. Gives Miami good field position.
It's a handoff to the far side in the backfield. Stewart leaning, and it appears he did not get there.
It was so close.
He got it at the very end. Stewart leans for the first down.
It's just, I mean, he's just right at it. I feel like we've had so many plays today right at the sticks. Like, just so many plays right at the marker. I feel like that's more than I've ever seen.
Very, very close there. Stewart had just enough, maybe with that final effort reaching the football, to get exactly 1 yard for the first down. Single back formation, Bazelak under center here. He will fake the run, throw it down the near side of the field, brought in by Finn Hogan, and he's rolled across the 40-yard line. Gain of 27 for Finn Hogan, targeted but no catches last week. Hogan with his second reception, first for a gain. And the Falcons are in business now with 8:17 and counting to go third quarter. They're down 9, but they got a first down from their own 40.
Just hit Hogan right up the seam, was wide open on that play. Formation, a lot of guys up front, really sets up your receivers in one-on-one situations.
Fannin heads to the far side to stack twins, again under center. Another play fake for Bazelak. He will step into this one, and he's got Fannin, but he overshot him down the middle of the field, incomplete. Fannin complaining that he was getting held. Miami on the other side complaining there was holding at the line of scrimmage. Neither one was called. It's a wash, incomplete, and it's 2nd and 10.
I mean, he had a step there. That was certainly a good opportunity to get Fannin the big play that he needed, but the throw from Bazelak just a little out in front and just incomplete.
And Bazelak narrowly missed an interception there as Silas Walters was coming across that football. Pistol formation now for the Falcons. Ball inside the right hash. High snap pulled down by Bazelak. Handoff goes nowhere. Pegues bottled up in the backfield. And it goes for a loss of 2 yards there. Or rather, Jason Patterson, the senior from Jacksonville, taking the carry. -2 yards on the ground. It's 3rd and 12.
Yeah, it looked like it was Corey Suttle and Eli Blakey on the tackle there. It's a huge play from both of them, getting a loss of yards there and forcing the Falcons in a 3rd and long situation.
Empty set for the moment. Falcons subbing late here. Play clock at 10. All kinds of confusion on the BG sideline. Miami now going to make that late sub. Trying to run this play clock down, and it hits zeros, and timeout called. So smart play by the Miami defense. Adam Trick was the player coming off for Miami and made sure to take all the time he was allowed to get off the field. With Bowling Green subbing late, you see that often in college football. With the defense getting to sub last, he just kind of sauntered off the field at his own pace. And you either take the 5 yards there. Scott Leffler down 9 points, would rather take the timeout, his first of the half, and with 7:04 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime if you're the defense, you're able to take advantage of the offense with a late substitution. You do exactly as you just described, Luke. Just really take your time. We see a lot of teams bring out their heaviest off defensive linemen to get them off the field, but Miami doing it right there and forcing Bowling Green to use one of their precious timeouts.
So they've got 2 left, but again in the second half down 2 scores. It's the smallest 2-score lead it can be at 9 points, but still you absolutely hate to burn any of those precious timeouts that you might need later on. Scott Leffler had no choice, though, if he wanted to pick up this 3rd down. 3rd and 17 is even tougher than 3rd and 12. They've already converted once on this drive, although they just needed a yard, and they got only down to the inch the amount they needed to move the chains. Bowling Green, after an 0 for 6 start, converting their last 3rd down. They've got it up to the 38-yard line now. The big play was the Finn Hogan catch on this drive that went for 27 yards. Got Bowling Green out near midfield, but again, the Falcons, they've got to midfield at points throughout the day, but a couple 3-and-outs being mixed in with some drives that don't really have that second effort. It feels like they get to the 2nd series, maybe the 3rd series, picking up a couple of first downs, but after that point, Miami's defense has done a really good job to dig their heels in today.
Yeah, I would say it's mostly just been on 1st and 2nd down where Miami's defensive line really steps up on a run or a short pass and gets them in these long situations, and Bowling Green just not able to recover from that. it just seems like you can't afford to have any negative plays against this Miami defense, or else your drive just stalls out.
7:04 to go, third quarter. It's Miami 14 and Bowling. Zarek, Matt Salopek on the pressure for Miami. It's fourth down, and the Falcons will punt.
Yeah, Basilak, he's not the most mobile guy in the world, so with Miami bringing an extra rusher there, really speeds up the process there for Basilak, forces an incompletion, and once again, another stalled drive for the Falcons after a very promising start.
John Henderson on to punt it away. Cade McDonald standing at the 21-yard line. RedHawks again bring pressure and again nearly get to it as this kick bounces backwards after landing at the 37. It'll get up to the 39 before it is smothered by the Falcons' punt coverage unit. But another pretty short punt there of only around 23 yards.
It's a bad bounce, too.
Yeah, for the Falcons. It was a low line driver. Typically, those tend to bounce the way of the punting team, but unfortunately for Bowling Green, that ball bounced about 3 yards back their direction before they downed it. So the Miami offense returns to the field. 6:51 to go, third quarter with a 9-point lead. Most recently, the RedHawks got into Falcon territory, but punted after the interception from Ty Wise. Out of the pistol, Gabbert takes the snap, handoff for Mosey, and he gets collapsed on right at the line of scrimmage. I'm counting 5 Falcons that are getting up as they unpack the pile. No gain for Mosey on first down.
Yeah, Bowling Green continuing to do a really good job of just rallying around the football. Really haven't seen Mosey today get that big run that we've come to expect, especially in recent weeks. Longest run today for Mosey, only 15 yards.
Believe for the first time all game, RedHawks will go empty set here. Gabbert's got 3 wide to the left, 2 to the right. Bowling Green showed pressure, now they'll back it off. Only 3 men on the line of scrimmage for the Falcons. Gabbert directing traffic, play clock at 3, 2, 1. He takes the snap at the belt, looking far side, throws a dart. It is incomplete. Oh, he put that in a tight window to Reggie Virgil, but off the hands of his receiver. It drops down to the turf, incomplete. That would have been a gain of about 20 yards for Miami. Instead, it's 3rd and 10.
It looked like Ja'Cory Benjamin was there to break up the pass. And, I mean, once again, it was open for a second for Gabbert, but just threw it just too late. And once again, very, very nearly could have been tipped or intercepted.
2 receivers either side for Gabbert on 3rd down. RedHawks 3 for 6 today. Jack Coldiron joins the line of scrimmage as the tight end. Gabbert takes the snap, throws it near side, completes a Cade McDonald, and he is chopped down. Jordan Oladokun came in, and he clipped the feed out from Cade McDonald. RedHawks are well short at the 45-yard line. Pickup of 6 for McDonald, but not enough on 3rd and 10. Miami brings out Alec Bevelheimer and the punt unit again as we approach 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Still a 14-5 Miami lead with Bowling Green set to get the ball back. Justin Pegee stands inside his own 10. Bevelheimer takes the snap. Pressure nearly got to him, but he gets it away. And Bevelheimer will kick it. It bounces at the 17 and kind of rolls sideways out of bounds right at around the 16-yard line. So not bad execution there for Miami, especially considering the rush that got home. Alec Bevelheimer has dealt with some snap issues throughout this year, so just happy to get rid of that one, get the Falcons inside their own 20, and get the defense on the field. With 5:14 to go, 3rd quarter, our score, Miami 14 and Bowling Green 5. We'll return after this. You're listening to Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. half. The other one from their own 14-yard line. Bazelak takes the snap, handoff left to Patterson, cuts it upfield and is wrapped down at the 18-yard line after a gain of 4. So a safe call there for Scott Leffler. He will bring out the punting unit.
Yeah, and that holding call just really just put an end to the drive for the Falcons. Went from getting a first down to a second and long situation.
It was 3rd and 2 versus 2nd and 12, and after the incompletion, things really spiraled for Bowling Green.
And once again, Miami's going to get the ball in pretty good field position.
Cade McDonald is standing at the 44-yard line on Miami's own half. Walters nearly gets to it again. It's a low kick that will stop up at the 44-yard line. McDonald pointing and backing away, wants nothing to do with it. BG will down it there. Man, Silas Walters has been all over the field for Miami, influencing another low punt there from Bowling Green. Not the worst one in the world for the Falcons, but a 32-yard boot will start the RedHawk offense at the 44-yard line. 3:33 to go in the third quarter. Miami leads at 14-5.
And it's kind of weird talking about Silas Walters so much, just the impact he's making on special teams. But, I mean, those are plays that, like, if you're an NFL scout, you just absolutely love seeing. I mean, he can just make a major impact on the game.
Pistol formation for Miami to start the drive. Jack Coldiron motions from the right slot to the left side of the line. Gabbert takes the snap with a leap. It's a play fake, sets his feet, and throws to the far side, incomplete. Oh, Reggie Virgil was wide open. He just mistimed his jump there. Got up a little bit too early and couldn't high point the football. It's off his hands and falls to the turf.
Oh, man, it just seems like this RedHawk offense just one play away from really breaking this game open. That could have been it, but Gabbert and Virgil just not able to connect there. Virgil mistiming the jump, and my goodness, 2nd and long now.
2nd and 10, Mosey remains in the game as the back. 2 receivers either side for Gabbert, working out of the shotgun. Defensive shift puts 3 men on the line of scrimmage for Bowling Green as opposed to 4. Gabbert points left. Everybody stops at the line of scrimmage. He takes the snap and hands it off anyway up the middle, and Mosey goes for 3 yards before he is tackled around the ankles at the 47-yard line after a gain of 3. BG was pleading for a false start there, and they might have had a case. Really, everybody stopped as that football was snapped. It's 3rd down and 7 for Miami.
Yeah, it certainly looked awkward. I believe it was left tackle Will Jados. Looked like he got started early, but officials not able to see it or didn't call it there.
3rd and 7. Gabbert's got Downing in front of him in the backfield. He takes the snap, throws it near side, caught by Virgil, and he is brought down. His length got him to the 49 of Bowling Green, but a gain of 4 on 3rd and 7. He's 3 yards short of the line to gain, and Miami will surely kick this away here.
Yeah, we've seen this Miami offense go back to that screenplay a number of times in 3rd down situations. Sets up some more room for the punting unit and also drains the clock as well. This third quarter has gone by so quickly.
Play clock at 15 seconds, clock at 2:15, so around 2 minutes will be left when Bowling Green gets the ball. Snap to Bevelheimer and a high, wobbly kick. And inside the 10-yard line, a fair catch is made by Pegues. Backpedaling to the 8. That's where the Falcons will start at 1st and 10 with 2:04 to play in the third quarter.
And once again, Bevelheimer doing his job again, putting them inside the 20.
Man, Miami special teams has been in vintage form in this game. RedHawks have been near the bottom of the MAC in a lot of special teams categories this year. They have a new special teams coordinator after Jacob Branowski parted for Pitt in the offseason. Things haven't gone as well as they did last year, but man, Miami has been on it special teams-wise today, and it has helped them out a lot. 1st and 10 from the 8. It's a play fake. Throw to the far side is complete, and around the edge goes Smith. He is finally tapped out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Silas Walters makes the stop for the RedHawks after a gain of 6. Clock still moving. Minute 45 to play in the third quarter. Bowling Green down 9 points at 14-5.
Yeah, BG getting the ball to Rakeem Smith in open space. Beat out Salopek for a tackle.
Finn Hogan now going to be motioned out wide, and in comes Harold Fannin to take the snap. He'll take it and run left. Fannin with blockers. He will somersault across the 15-yard line to the 16, but a gain of 2, and Miami deals with the trickery there on whatever you call a wildcat if you snap it to the tight end.
Yeah, don't see that too often. BG just having a real hard time getting Harold Fannin involved in this game. We've seen a few rushing attempts from him, and especially on that last play there.
Under a minute to play in the third. 3rd down and 2 for the Falcons. It is a pitch back, and now stepping backward. BG's going to throw it, and it's off the fingertips and brought in. Levi Gazarek hauls it in for a first down. It was run up the middle to Harold Fannin. He ran into his blockers, might have had a chance to churn the legs and push, but it would have been close. Instead, he took 2 steps back and kind of took a fadeaway jumper to Levi Gazarek for the first down out to the 25.
And not the first passing attempt on the season for Fannin. Had one earlier, 0 for 1, but does get his first completion there.
Throw to the far side on first down, again complete to Rakeem Smith, and he swerves away from a tackle and brought out of bounds by Walters on the second effort stop for Miami following an 8-yard gain. It's 2nd and 2, and the Falcons will take this to the end of the third quarter. Maybe a little bit of mojo finally building for Bowling Green here at home, but no points in the third quarter as Miami leads Bowling Green 14-5 after 45 minutes of play from Doyt L. Perry Stadium. It's going to be an exciting finish. Winner to Detroit here on this Friday afternoon from Northwest Ohio. Won't want to miss it. You're listening to Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. Red Hawks up 9 after 3. And they lead Bowling Green 14-5 with 15 minutes to play. Falcon ball, 2nd and 2 from their own 33 as we begin quarter number 4. Luke West Poley and Bryan Miller with you. And Bazelak takes the snap and fires to the far side. Leaping catch, Harold Fannin stiff arming across the 40. 3 RedHawks needed to bring him down across the 45. Finally, the first big play for Harold Fannin Jr. for Bowling Green. It's a pickup of 14 yards and a Falcon first down out to the 47.
Yeah, I think that's the Harold Fannin we came to expect today, Luke. A broken tackle, first big play for the tight end, and something Bowling Green desperately needed.
Chuck Martin emphasized the need to limit his yards after catch. Have done it pretty much all game, couldn't do it that time. 1st and 10 Falcons. Bazelak out of the shotgun, takes the snap, handoff up the middle. Patterson with a pile behind him. He is shoved into Miami territory and all the way down to the 43-yard line of the RedHawks. Looks like he'll have enough for the first down, a gain of 10.
And yeah, now we're really seeing this Bowling Green offense starting to get something together here. It's just finishing drives has been the issue all day for the Falcons. They're able to do it here. It makes this game really, really interesting.
So they'll slow down a little bit here as Bazelak chats to his offensive line. Now he's lined up, twins left, takes the snap, fakes the run, backing up, will chip it down. Catch made by Gazarek with blockers. He is brought down from behind, but not after a big gain down to the 31-yard line on the far sideline. Savio Frazier made the stop.
Excellent play call there. Get all the motion going to the left side, isolates the right side, gets a screen, and another first down.
13:22 to go, 4th quarter. Bowling Green trailing at 14-5. They can't tie or take the lead on this drive, but they can get within striking distance with 6 here. Falcons will change the formation. Everybody lined up tight. Now they'll move 4 receivers all put together along the near hash. Bazelak takes the snap, throwing far side. It's knocked down by Strader. Oh, Strader's kicking himself a little bit on the far sideline. He might have had a chance to make a break on intercepting that football, and if he did, he would have run the distance in all likelihood to the house and nobody in front of him. Falcons isolated everybody on the near side of the field, but probably the one guy in the Miami secondary that you put on an island that is most likely to make the play. It's Rayhan Strader.
Yeah, just another phenomenal play for Strader. Just having a fantastic season for the RedHawks defense. That formation made it seem like Fannin was going to get the screen, had 3 receivers in front of him. It was going to be another one-on-one situation, but decided to go to the other side and test Strader.
Shotgun formation, snap to Bazelak, 3-step drop, looking, stepping up. He will fling it out wide. Catch made again. Gazarek looking forward, and he is upended across the 25-yard line, flipping down to the 24. Silas Walters makes the tackle for Miami. After a gain of 7, it's 3rd down and 3 for Bowling Green as the clock moves towards 12:30 to go in the game.
He has an interesting decision there from Bazelak. He had a lot of room right in front of him. I know he's not the most mobile guy in the world, but I think he could have gotten the first down if he just took the room ahead of him, just ran for the first.
3rd down and 3. Bazelak in the gun. Patterson to his left. Motion. Handoff to the right side for Johnson. He's got room around the edge. Johnson to the secondary, bashing inside the 5, and he is pulled down by Silas Walters at the 3-yard line. It's a gain down to the 2, actually, of 22 yards for Jamal Johnson. And Bowling Green, for the first time all game, has got it 1st and goal.
And we're really starting to see the explosive plays from this Falcon offense. Jamal Johnson just finding the open room on the right side of the field and gets it inside the 5.
And it's 14-12 Miami. With 11:35 to go in the 4th. We're back to Doyt L. Perry Stadium after this. You're listening to Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. Gut check time for Miami. They lead Bowling Green 14-12, set to get the ball back with 11:35 to play in the fourth quarter. With Bryan Miller alongside Luke Poley with you. And Bryan, for the RedHawks, they've stalled often offensively in this third quarter. Hasn't been a problem the way their defense has played until now. Bowling Green marched down the field 92 yards with relative ease as Miami's defense for the first time all game looked a little worn down. 2-point lead important for a multitude of reasons. First off, you get no points on this drive. Bowling Green can take the lead with a field goal. But second off, on the more positive side for Miami, if you get into the end zone, it's back to a two-possession game.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where, this is what you play for, right? This is what all the two-a-day has been worth. This is what all the training has been worth over the offseason. For moments like this, can you close out in these last 11 minutes and 35 seconds to get yourself back to Detroit for the MAC championship game?
Pretty safe bet that the Ohio Bobcats, leading at 35-7. Last we checked over Ball State, are going to punch their ticket to Detroit momentarily. Miami would love nothing more than to join their biggest in-conference rival to play for their second straight MAC crown next week, but they will need to close it out over the last 11 and a half here today. Kickoff away. Kevin Davis works to the near side, now catches it at the 5-yard line of the near hash. Running it forward, Davis scoots through a gap out to the 23 and is brought down there after a return of 19 yards to the 24-yard line. And with 11:29 to go, on comes Brett Gabbert and the offense. Gabbert 14 for 22, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, but has looked a little less efficient in the second half. Some of that due to some drops by his receivers on some open targets.
Yeah, just got to clean up the communication between Gabbert and the rest of the receivers. Cannot afford any more crucial drops now.
3 receivers wide left, nobody right to the short side. Forward to the 27-yard line. Gain of 3 on first down for Keon Mosey, who RedHawks have struggled to get going. 10 carries, 55 yards. For a guy that's normally due for 100 in MAC play, that's well below pace at 2nd and 7.
Yeah, we usually see Mosey really break out in the second half of these games as well, and it just hasn't happened yet.
Gabbert out of the shotgun. Waving his hand at his left side and now his right. He gives a signal, hoisting his arms above his waist. Snap to him. Pressure coming. Gabbert steps up, fires over the middle. He's got Tracy into the secondary. Javon Tracy is clear, and he will score. Touchdown, Miami. 73 yards. Gabbert to Tracy, and the RedHawks answer back with 10:35 to go. Miami has made it 20-12.
My goodness. Every time we've seen this Miami offense stall out throughout conference play, they hit a big explosive in the pass game over and over again. And Miami, just what a response. What a response from Brett Gabbert and the rest of this offense.
Tom Jobin on to for the PAT to try and stretch it to a 2-score lead once again. And Jobin knocks it through. That's a big one for Miami. Javon Tracy with the 73-yard catch, his 3rd grab of the day. He's the 3rd different receiver to catch a touchdown this afternoon for the RedHawks. And with 10:35 to play, Miami leads it by 9 once more. It's RedHawks 21 and Falcons 12. Another timeout on the field here from Perry Stadium, which has seen an eerie silence fall over it. Falcons looking to punch back when we return. You're listening to Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. Well, another fork in the road in this game with 10:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Miami, who looked like they were up against it, put down to the mat by Bowling Green after a 92-yard touchdown drive to get it within 2. The RedHawks answer with a 72-yard touchdown catch by Javon Tracy, and Miami's back up 2 scores, 21-12, with 10.5 left to play. Kellen McLaughlin getting set to boot this one back to the Falcons, but wow. RedHawks were on the ropes. Falcon offense had moved the ball a little bit, but had not looked that good all game until their last drive, and you felt very nervous if you were a Miami fan for the RedHawk offense, who had not scored all half, heading into a near essential points drive. Miami got it in a big way from Tracy. Leaning into this one, McLaughlin will boot it into the end zone. Where did it cross the pylon? Inside of it. It's a touchback. Ball looked like it went right over the pylon. That's important.
Close.
Because that means the Falcons will start on the 25. So job well done by Kellen McLaughlin, kicking downwind in a pretty aggressive gust at his face. We have seen the Miami kickoff unit kick it about 10 yards short of the end zone on most of their kicks in this direction from left to right to the open end of the stadium. But a good job by Kellen McLaughlin there, and it's a touchback. Falcon offense back out onto the field, and again, Bowling Green far from out of this. Their offense looked the best it had all game last drive. Connor Bazelak works out of the gun. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. 4-man rush. Quick pass to the near side, brought in by Johnson, and he is torn out of bounds by Rayon Strader. Crowd did not like the tail end of that wrap-up from Strader. The catch goes for 5 yards for Johnson, who's been uber active in this game. That's his 7th catch to tie for the game lead in receptions with Miami's Caden McDonald. It's 2nd and 5 for BG.
And BG, I mean, Miami last drive, they had their big-time players step up in a big-time situation. Now the Falcons are going to have to do the same here.
Play fake. Bazelak throws over the middle. It is knocked away. That ball was put right in between 3 RedHawks, and Silas Walters had the best chance at it, working against Harold Fannin. A triple team, and meanwhile, Rakeem Smith was wide open on the far side of the field. That was almost a disaster for Bowling Green.
Yeah, I think Bazelak got tunnel vision on Fannin on that one, which is understandable, but the 3 defenders around him just not the look there.
So 3rd down and 5, pressure from behind. The throw is underthrown and incomplete. Contact in the secondary on Finn Hogan, but no flag in. Might have been a little bit of a push to Bazelak's back as well as he got rid of that football, as Miami was in hot pursuit, and Bowling Green will have to punt it after a 3 and out.
Yeah, certainly a lot of contact on that last play, but as we saw early in this game, it looks like this officiating crew will allow a lot of contact between the receivers, tight ends, and the defensive backs.
Yeah,
I'm just so impressed with the response from Miami's defense there. Just an immediate stop.
Henderson sends the punt up ahead. Cade McDonald calls for the fair catch and makes it on a knee at the 29-yard line of Miami. And with 9:48 to go, RedHawks leading 21-12 will put their offense back out onto the field. Miami was looking for the home run hitter all game. This offense is built on big plays. Typically, we see Chuck Martin go to it early and stick with it. Miami had been largely devoid of the big play in this game. Finally got on that last one, and now we'll see how conservative the approach is from Chuck Martin.
They finally got it when they needed most. That's the thing about explosive plays. It can come at any time.
Keon Mosey is the back. Jack Coldiron, the tight end in the formation on the left side of the line. Mosey moves from Gabbert's right to his left. Gabbert takes the snap. Handoff up the middle. Mosey is whipped down immediately, and no gain on the first play from scrimmage for Miami.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't expect the RedHawk offense to be as aggressive this drive with the deep shots, but I mean, you still haven't really been able to run the ball very effectively, and you still need to get a couple first downs here in order to drain the clock out. So you will need to make some crucial passes, I would think.
Second play of the drive after no gain on first down. Mosey still the back. Bowling Green shifts their defense. They'll back 1 off the line of scrimmage. Gabbert takes the snap, handoff left for Mosey, room around the edge. Mosey gets to the exterior, and Mosey runs it up the sideline and out of bounds near the sticks. He got to the 40. It's a gain of 11 and a first down.
And we've just been waiting for Mosey to really pop one to open. Wasn't quite as long as it is that we've seen in past weeks, but we'll definitely get the job done. A huge first down. Those are another 3 plays to drain the clock if you're Miami. And being up 2 possessions, that's absolutely huge.
Pistol formation for Gabbert, 2 receivers either side. 8:35 and counting to go, 4th quarter. It's Miami 21, Bowling Green 12. Snap to Gabbert, screen pass near side, caught by Cade McDonald with a stumble, lowers his shoulder, and churns forward across the 45-yard line to the 46. Again, clock continues to move. We're not to the point yet where it will stop. As 8:15 remains, the clock will run under 8 minutes to go, and crucially, Bowling Green down 2 scores, only has 2 timeouts. They called one of them earlier as they were forced to avoid a delay of game after a late sub.
And that will certainly loom large in these last 8 minutes.
2nd down and 3 for Miami from the 47 on their own end of the field, working it left to right from the right hash. Gabbert out of the gun, tiptoes forward. Shifts his hips. He's got some last-minute orders. Play clock at 1. Snap to Gabbert. Handoff left Mosey. Shuffling in the backfield. Mosey finds a wrinkle, gets up ahead, and dives forward into Falcon territory to the 47-yard line of Bowling Green. It is a gain of 6 and a first down for Miami.
Just exactly what you needed there. We've been talking all game, Luke, how Miami has had trouble this season running the ball in short yardage situations, but they're able to do it there, and once again, another crucial first down.
And Miami's continuing to work this clock. Pistol formation right now for Gabbert, who's still got 13 on the play clock to work with. Now it turns into a shotgun. 2 receivers either side. McDonald in the near slot. He's the only receiver we've seen get a pass of late. Handoff up the middle to Mosey, and he gets a wall right at the line of scrimmage. And will go nowhere. No gain on first down. 2nd and 10 coming up for Miami. But at this point, again, clock is your friend here. RedHawks will move it around 6 minutes before they take the next snap. Currently a 9-point lead for Miami. For Bowling Green, you can stay within 2 possessions if you concede a touchdown, as that would likely make it a 16-point ball game. But you'd like to avoid that if you can. And Miami's still well outside field goal range. Ball at the 47 of Bowling Green. 2nd and 10 for the RedHawks. Gabbert snap, handoff up the middle. Mosey falls over top the tackler right at the line of scrimmage, and forward momentum gets him to the 45. It's a gain of 2, and it's 3rd down and 8. Clock will run to around 5:30 to go when Miami gets the snap off. It's currently at 6 minutes. Do you throw the ball here?
Well, I think if you do, it's one of those short screens again. We've seen Miami do that on 3rd down quite often, especially in the second half. I would kind of expect that to be the play call again.
Cade McDonald in the near slot, the receiving target to keep an eye on should Miami throw it. 3rd down and 8. High snap to Gabbert. Instead, he'll throw far side. Caught by Virgil. Gets out of a tackle. Virgil working down the far sideline. Escapes another and finally brought down by the shoulders outside the numbers at the 24-yard line. Reggie Virgil escapes, and the elusiveness for the junior out of Florida gets Miami well into Falcon territory from out near midfield all the way down to the BG 24. RedHawks are near field goal range, and they'll run the clock under 5 minutes to go. It's 1st and 10.
All 3 of the receivers, Javon Tracy, K. McDonald, and Reggie Virgil, are so good with the ball in their hands. You give them open space, they can make a guy miss and get up the field quickly. That time it was Virgil, and once again, just a humongous first down for the RedHawks.
Gabbert on 1st down again, looking to throw. Gabbert going deep to the far side, and it's incomplete. Again, there was some contact, but that ball not really in a catchable area. Looking for Virgil again in the end zone. So a little bit of a gamble there for Miami because you give up the 40-second runoff by throwing the ball. It's 2nd and 10. Clock stops with 4:41 to play. Miami still leads it by 9.
Yeah, Miami looking for the kill shot there. Not quite able to get it, and a little bit of a break for Bowling Green as the clock stops.
Again, this is the tougher end of the stadium to kick into if you're Dom Jobin. Gabbert takes the snap, throws it near side. McDonald trying to juke away from a tackle, but Oladokun won't let him get away. This will go for a loss for Miami to the 26-yard line. And with 4:27 to go, play clock around 30, a very crucial 3rd down and 11 coming up for the Red Hawk offense.
Yeah, it looked like Cade was going to get away there for a second, but the rest of the Falcons, the whole flock of them, able to get to him and prevent any more of a gain for Miami.
Biggest play of the game so far. 21-12, Miami leads, 4:03 to go in the 4th quarter. Trip to the MAC title game on the line for the Bowling Green 26. 3rd down and 11, snap to Gabbert, handoff up the middle. It is Mosey up ahead, and he dives forward. He was on top of the pile that was underneath him, but stopped after a 3-yard gain to the 22. Timeout is called by Scott Leffler. And they've got 1 left, Bowling Green, to work with. Miami will likely go for a 40-yard field goal try into some screaming headwind here for Dom Jobin. That comes with 3:48 to play.
It's going to be a tough field goal considering the wind, but if you're able to get it, stretch the lead out to 12, just make it that much harder for Bowling Green to get back into this ball game. But good job there from the Bowling Green defense. Those last 3 plays, they absolutely needed a stop there, and they were able to get it and give themselves still a chance to stay in this ball game.
Again, winner to the Mid-American Conference Championship game that will be hosted at Ford Field in Detroit at noon next Saturday, 8 days from now. It's important to note Miami's coming off longer rest than Bowling Green. They played last Saturday. RedHawks played on Wednesday against Northern Illinois, so RedHawks kind of sacrificed that a little bit in the Northern Illinois game because they were playing off short rest of only 6 days as opposed to the 7, and they get the week and a half, so to speak, of rest, a week and 2 days really, of rest prior to the game today.
And you kind of wonder if that's like how much of an impact that has, especially in this last quarter, because we've just seen Miami. It looked like they've just been the more conditioned team in this last quarter of the game. I mean, I'm sure the Bowling Green players and coaching staff would tell you it wouldn't have any impact, but just like subconsciously, you wonder if it has any impact.
And it's interesting, too, because it didn't look like it was going to be that way. When Bowling Green got the ball and marched down the field, they went 92 yards in about 2 minutes and 50 seconds to score the touchdown that got it within 2, the closest the lead had been all game since Miami took it at 7-0. You were kind of wondering.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it looked like Bowling Green had all the momentum in the game after that touchdown. But the thing about momentum, it could end in one play. Just if you get a huge passing play like Miami did to get that touchdown, it just completely stops everything that Bowling Green had and kind of have to start all over down 2 possessions.
I should say closest the lead was until it was 7-5 for a brief blip in the second quarter. But again, Miami really was in control of this game throughout until that Bowling Green touchdown drive. And just when it looked like the wheels might fall off for Miami at their biggest point in the year, they got a 72-yard touchdown catch from Javon Tracy and pumped themselves right back into the driver's seat. Now a big field goal coming for the RedHawks potentially. However, it looks like the RedHawks are going to go for this. This might be some window dressing here by Chuck Martin to potentially draw off sides. He does still have 2 timeouts to work with, but it's 4th and 8, and right now Brett Gabbert's out there with the offense.
Yeah, this could absolutely be a situation where they're trying to get Bowling Green to jump off sides.
Gabbert claps once, doesn't get the snap. Claps twice, still nothing. 3 times. Now he'll yell out. To the left side, he's got a signal, now to the right. Gabbert claps, he will take the snap. RedHawks are going for it, looking, throwing, far side, incomplete. Gabbert threw it at the feet of Javon Tracy. Good coverage provided on the play there for Bowling Green. And Tracy could not hang on. Tracy Revels, the safety, was back there, and the Falcons will take over with 3:45 to go and a timeout from their own 22-yard line. So you can kind of understand Chuck Martin there. Field goal doesn't do a ton for you necessarily, and the touchdown really delivers the kill shot. Now with a 9-point lead, Miami will have to play some defense here.
And you would expect Miami to play a little conservatively, but not too much.
Bazelak on first down with time, throw, batted, caught at the line by Fannin. He'll work it to the near side, and he is shoved out of bounds.
I mean, that's who else is making that catch? Wow. I mean, what a play. I know he doesn't have great stats today, Fannin, but I think he's just playing phenomenally. He's doing so much for this offense. We were talking about it earlier. We're just amazed that he just doesn't seem to ever get tired.
Gain of 3. It's 2nd and 7. Clock did not initially move. Now it is. 3:25 to go. Fourth quarter. Play fake. Bazelak gobbled up. It's a sack for the Red Hawk defense, and Bryan Ugu back to the 16-yard line.
We haven't seen Ugu a ton today, but he could show up, make a big play at any moment. Just been so huge for the Red Hawks all season long, and did it once again. What a huge play.
Red Hawks again are subbing late, and the Falcons have to run some time off. 2:55 to go. Snap on 3rd and 16 for Bazelak. Throws it near side. It is caught, but short of the sticks for Johnson Jr. on the near sideline. Strader played behind him and just bracketed him inbounds at the 29. It's a gain of 14 yards, but now 4th down for the Falcons. And they got to rush up to the line from the 29-yard line. 4th and 3. Bazelak with time. Throws near side. Incomplete. Shot it over his target. Looking, it looks like, for Johnson, who took a shot from Eli Blakey. Johnson is down on the Miami sideline, and Red Hawk coaches signaling for the Bowling Green trainers to come over and check on him. But the incomplete pass to Malcolm Johnson Jr., and Miami will take back over 1st and 10 from the Falcon 29 with 2:28 to play. Only one timeout for Bowling Green. Red Hawks need a 1st down to ice it.
Yeah, trying to go to Johnson again has been very effective for this Falcons offense. Took a hard hit as he was going out of bounds, and you saw people on the Miami coaching staff motion for the trainers and the medical personnel to get over right away. Certainly a hard hit.
Yeah, it was delivered in a big way by Blakey. Throw was a little high there. Maybe a chance to get the hands on the football for Johnson if he timed his jump perfectly. But even then, the likelihood he takes that hit from Blakey, holds onto the football, and stays in bounds is very, very low. Red Hawks played that very well. And Bryan Ugu has just come up so big for Miami. He doesn't get you tackles in bunches. He had just 2 last week, but 1.5 of them were sacks. And for the Red Hawks, that'll certainly do. And Ugu, again, who has been pretty quiet statistically today, makes a huge play. Getting to the quarterback. Finally, the pass rush gets home for Miami, as that was just the 2nd sack on Bazelak in this game. And the Red Hawk offense has it back as an indirect result.
And Ugu just seems to step up when he's needed the most as well. Last week's game against Northern Illinois got the fumble recovery as well, which iced the game for Miami.
Johnson, meanwhile, has been helped to his feet and heads to the far sideline. Red Hawks offense on the field. Gabbert working out of the shotgun. They need a 1st down to win it. 2:28 to go, 4th quarter. Miami's up 21-12. Snap to Gabbert, handoff up the middle for Mosey. Dives right down the center of all the havoc, and will be marked down at the 27-yard line of Bowling Green. It's a gain of 2 for Keon Mosey. 2nd and 8 coming up, and Miami will run this down to the 2-minute timeout, as Scott Leffler's going to keep that timeout in his pocket for now. And the Red Hawks will have a chance to go back to the huddle. Miami is 2 minutes away from a 2nd straight berth in the Mid-American Conference Championship game. The Red Hawks lead it 21-12, looking to run the clock out when we come back to Doyt L. Perry Stadium. Stay with us. You're listening to Miami Football on Red Hawk Radio. with a trip to the MAC title game on the line. The whole Miami bench is up and firing up the RedHawk fans that have made the 3-hour trip up north and bared the cold in the 20s and 30s today. RedHawks have it with 2 minutes to play, leading by 9 points over Bowling Green, 21-12. 2nd and 8 Miami. Falcons have 1 timeout left. If the RedHawks get a first down, they can kneel. Bowling Green down 2 scores, needs a stop to keep this game alive. Gabbert with his heels on the 33-yard line awaits the snap with Keon Mosey, the man of the hour, on the right side. We will likely see him get the football.
Biggest thing for Mosey here, just 2 hands on the football. Do not let it get away from you. Do not put this thing on the ground.
Gabbert looks left. He'll motion Andre Johnson to join the line. Takes the snap in hands. Up the middle, Mosey will now escape to the far side. There goes Mosey. First down and more. Keon Mosey will get all the way in to the end zone for a Miami touchdown. Keon Mosey might have just run the RedHawks all the way up to Detroit. Take it further up I-75, and Miami leads it 27-12 with 1:52 to play.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what Miami does, right? They just wear you down in the second half, and then they get some explosives on you and just clinch this game. That's exactly what Mosey did. And I believe that gets him over 100 yards.
Yep, up to 108 on the game. And for Mosey, that is now 7 of 8 in MAC play, over 100 yards. Extra point is drilled by Dom Jobin. And there's a flag in, as currently a member of the Bowling Green defensive line is barking at Dom Jobin, who's hand signaling back to him. There's an illegal substitution on Bowling Green. That's what the flag is. And so 55 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. What a game this was, and really toe-to-toe. This delivered in the cold. Both these teams fought their tails off this afternoon. And as entertaining as they come in a battle of MAC heavyweights. After the initial loss, with Gabbert taking the final knee, RedHawks drop the MAC opener to Toledo, and since the RedHawks run the table, Miami is going back to Detroit as the RedHawks secure a spot in the Mid-American Conference title game coming up next Saturday with a 28-12 win over the Bowling Green Falcons. Miami now winners of 7 straight and finish the regular season 8-4 overall. Wow, Bryan, this RedHawk team has shown some serious guts. There were a lot of question marks. There were people out there that were saying maybe Brett Gabbert was past his former abilities, coming back for a 6th year and 2 season-ending injuries. RedHawks looked very shaky early on in the season, but did something that is very tough to do, which is figured it out right when they were in the thick of things. And now you look at them, they've won 7 in a row, and they look like they'll be favored coming up on Saturday in the Mid-American Conference title game. I
mean, it just, you mentioned it earlier, Luke, just seemed kind of improbable that Miami would make it back to Detroit. I just, down 20-17 against UMass in the pouring rain, it did not look good. But Brett Gabbert just kept going to Kevin Davis over and over again on that drive. Dom Jobin tied it up and then kicked the game-winning field goal. And even though they lost to Toledo the next week in a game where they just made a couple mistakes early, they've just been rolling ever since. I mean, these 6-year guys, the veteran experience on this team has really showed out all year. They say you can't ever underestimate the heart of a champion, and I feel like that is the case with the Miami RedHawks this season.
Brett Gabbert currently standing at the 30-yard line, talking to Connor Bazelak, who just played his final game here at Doyt Perry Stadium after a couple seasons with the Falcons. They've got the Mizzou connection, of course, with Brett's older brother Blaine, a Tiger alum, and that is where Bazelak started his career as the SEC Co-Freshman of the Year back in 2020, and this Bowling Green team is going some serious places after a half-dozen years with Scott Loeffler, but ultimately the experience won out for Miami, and the guy who's been there before, Chuck Martin, will head to his 3rd MAC title game, looking to stay perfect when playing in Detroit at Ford Field coming up on Saturday. Well, this was certainly a fun one. We'll be back with you starting a packed week coming up out of the Thanksgiving holiday on Monday. Miami men's basketball is in action. Pregame at 6:30 and a 7 o'clock tip-off between the RedHawks and the Air Force Falcons from Millett Hall. Won't want to miss it. That's the next time we're on the air with you. Next time we're on the air for football, glad to say, is next Saturday, 8 days from now, as the RedHawks will be in Detroit for a noon kickoff coverage, beginning with the Red Hawk Radio kickoff show at 11 and pregame at 11:30 between the Miami RedHawks and, can we say it yet?
Not officially.
Not officially, but in 2 minutes it will be the Ohio Bobcats that the RedHawks will face in a Battle of the Bricks version 2, taken outside the Buckeye State, north of the border to Detroit from Ford Field for the MAC title coming up next Saturday. That'll wrap it up for us here from Bowling Green. For Brian Miller, braving the cold, I'm Luke West Poley saying so long. Miami wins it. RedHawks are going back to the MAC championship game. Final score, Miami 28 and Bowling Green 12. Thanks for tuning into this presentation of Miami football on Red Hawk Radio. We'll talk to you at the MAC championship coming up next Saturday.